What if you were fired from the very company you started? Would you give up or would you come back stronger? Steve Jobs faced one of the biggest setbacks of his life. But instead of quitting, he turned failure into his greatest comeback. This is the inspiring story of Steve Jobs. Welcome to episode 8. Today we are talking about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955 in San Francisco, California. Soon after his birth, he was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, who raised him with love and encouraged his curiosity. As a child, Steve loved talking apart machines and learning how they worked. He was fascinated by electronics and believed that technology could make life better. After finishing school, Steve joined college, but after only 6 months, he dropped out because he didn't want his parents to spend money on an education that didn't interest him. Even after leaving college, he continued attending classes that he enjoyed, including a calligraphy class. Years later, that single class inspired the beautiful fonts we see on Apple computers today. In 1976, Steve Jobs and his friend Steve Wozniak started Apple in a small garage. They had a simple dream to make computers easy for everyone to use. Apple grew quickly and became one of the most exciting technology companies in the world. But then something unexpected happened. In 1985, Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he had helped create. For many people, this would have been the end of the story. But for Steve Jobs, it became a new beginning. Instead of giving up, he started another company called Next and also bought a small animation studio called Pixar. Pixar later created some of the world's most successful animated films, including Toy Story. A few years later, Apple was struggling and decided to bring Steve Jobs back. When he returned, he introduced products that changed technology forever, including the Mac, iPod, iPhone, iPad. These products didn't just make Apple successful, they changed the way millions of people communicate, work, and live. Steve Jobs believed that great products come from passion, creativity, and attention to detail. One of his famous quotes is: "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." The quote perfectly reflects his life. Steve Jobs taught us that failure is not the end. Sometimes failure gives us opportunity to learn, grow, and come back even stronger. He also believed that you should never settle for work that does not inspire you. When you truly love what you do, challenges become opportunities to improve. Steve Jobs passed away on October 5, 2011, but his ideas continue to influence the world even single day. His journey reminds us that success is not about avoiding failure. It's about believing in your vision, staying creative, and never giving up on your dreams. Thank you for watching episode 8. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Shreyash Explains for more inspiring journeys of the world's greatest businessmen, innovators, and leaders. Think bigger, build better.